What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Burn the Ship, Louisiana.
It's good to be back.
Here. We got a special guest this morning, Miss Kay Walker. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much for coming to hang out for a few minutes and chat with us.
Well, thank you for asking.
So just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Monroe.
Okay.
And so very far up the road. But Ronnie and I married 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I moved over here. And in the meantime, I had started a business, Kaybaby's. And it's a Bloody Mary mix that I started in my little kitchen about 4.5 years ago. So after Ronnie and I married, he decided we could not do this on top of the stove any longer because we were using huge crawfish pots to cook them.
Wow. Okay.
So that's when we decided it was time to make a change. So we did. We actually during COVID is when it all began to change. We had to be tested at LSU. So that took a long time because I'm not a measurer. I'm just a dumper. I dump everything. I don't ever measure. So that took me a moment.
Sure. So it was fair to say it was kind of just a personal hobby at first.
Well, it was actually really out of necessity. It was a hobby until a divorce happened, and then it became a necessity.
Fair.
So which was good. I just jumped in and actually started on Facebook. I just posted and said, look, I'm making these Bloody Marys. I'd done them for years for just family and friends. And so several of my friends had said, you really ought to get into making this and selling it. And I thought, I don't need to do that. I'm good. Thank you, though, for asking.
Yeah.
And so then when the divorce happened, yes, I did. I had to actually sit down and start doing it.
Sure.
So I started making them in my kitchen, putting them in the fridge, and selling them like on Facebook, Instagram. People would text me, and so it really grew from there.
I love that. It's kind of, we talk about burning the ship, right? So that was kind of your maybe burn the ship moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe backs, against the wall, and you kind of forced to figure it out, and
oh, absolutely.
But you went all in.
Yes, I did. Well, I actually had to.
Right.
And I never thought. Some days I think, if I knew then what I know now, I may have been a little bit afraid, but because it was just such a long process.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about that. All I knew was get out, see if you got a product, get it done if you can.
Do you mind touching on that? Just, I've never been involved with developing an edible product, but I know I'm sure you had to go through FDA, get all that approved.
Yes.
Like, what is, not necessarily a super detail, but just walk us through what some of the challenges were in that process.
Well, one of the main challenges was to figure out actually whether I had a business or not.
Good point.
And so had I gone on and gotten legal, so to speak, that would have cost so much money that I would have never been able to make it. So I just basically prayed every day, Lord, don't let the health department show up. But until I was really sure, I'm one of those that kind of steps back and says, okay, let's just work slowly. I'm married to someone who doesn't do that at all. He wants to jump right in and let's just make it work.
Mayor Walker, for those that haven't.
Oh, yes. So anyhow, I just started at home with, this is kind of funny because I couldn't figure out what to put the Bloody Marys in. I was like, well, I can't afford to buy big containers or whatever, so I'd go to Walmart and buy gallon jugs of water and pour the water out and fill it with my Bloody Mary mix.
Nice.
In the meantime, my mother's having a stroke because she's like, hey, you got to save that water. And I'm thinking, well, where do I put it? I don't even have enough room for the Bloody Mary, so I don't know where to put it. But I would sell it like to hunters. I would put it outside my back door every Saturday and Sunday mornings for the hunters. They'd come pick it up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I would just do little pop-up parties, which I didn't even really know at the time what a pop-up party was. I had to call my friend and say, exactly what is this? Do they want me to come and bring my product, or do they just want me to come and shop?
Right.
And it was actually come bring your product. Right. Thank you. So anyway, that's the way I started, is just doing little pop-ups here and there.
I love it.
And then that's how I also met my husband.
Perfect.
He came to Monroe to a pop-up party.
You never know.
Exactly. You never do know. You never know. But when we got it to LSU, I was limited as to 2 places to get it tested. One was Texas A&M, and one was LSU. And I really wanted all of my products to be from Louisiana, Louisiana certified, because I'm just a Louisiana gal.
Sure.
So we have accomplished that, but it's just been one little God wink after the other. They put me with Gay Sandoz in Baton Rouge. She then put me with Mike Couliard in Lake Providence, who bottles my Bloody Marys now. And from there, it just went on even deeper than that, because now the bottles come from Simsboro, which is right up the road from here.
Mm-hmm.
The boxes, the paper for the boxes are actually made in Jonesboro.
Wow.
So we're really trying to keep it. I'm keeping it North Louisiana. And I hope it'll continue to be that way. So I've got other products that'll come out, but we're having a little difficult time finding a manufacturer right now. So anyhow, we're really proud of that, and it's just amazing the journey that we've gone on so far. So it's fun to go do meet and greets now. That's a lot of fun. There were a lot of hiccups, from starting to finish, because I had to get the product down to a cheaper cost to make it worth bottling. And so we started with that, and it was a weekend full of, okay, I need all the family to come and let's start taste testing over the whole weekend, and maybe 2, to try to get everything down to what we exactly wanted it to taste like. Right. So it's always a big challenge, but so far so good.
Just keep pushing.
Oh, absolutely. Never say die.
Exactly, right.
Exactly.
I love it.
Well, have you had any issues with, it's good that it's a local glass, because I know right now people are having issues finding bottles, and I have a brother that does small bottles of fragrances, and so he was ordering everything from China, and then when COVID happened, he started having problems, and the shipping cost. Has been local been a lifesaver with that, or have they run into any
Actually, you hit the nail on the head with me. I had a cute little boutique bottle that was coming out of Arkansas, Little Rock, and as cute as it was expensive, very expensive. But I just thought that first bottling, after I got used to what the cost was, I was like, okay, I think we're going to need to do something different. Plus, because of the food chain problem and everything else going on, we had to put in an 8-month in advance order. And we didn't know how many bottles we were going to need. I didn't know what was. So I had been trying to get my husband to please go to Simsboro and talk to these people. And finally he said, okay, I'll do it. And it just so happened that day I had to take my mom to Shreveport for a little doctor appointment, so I couldn't go. But he walked in, the guy said, look, man, if she will go to this bottle right here, he pulled it off the shelf, it's actually a Tito's bottle. So they do Tito's and Tabasco. So he said, if she will go to that bottle, we can make this work easily. We can give you 10,000 bottles at a time. And Ronnie said, no, we can't give, but you can sell us. So anyhow, so it went from $2, or almost $2 a bottle, down to about 75 cents.
Oh, wow.
So it made a big difference. So I was able actually to do this bottling with a larger bottle and not reflect the cost onto the customer. So that you actually get 4 more ounces for the same cost as the last bottling. So
those are the little things, because even with the extra, you already know, since it's Tito's, it's already been made to fit the shelf, right? I know spacing along in the grocery store, it's got to be a certain size, so it took a lot of the research out of yours, and they didn't have to do it customized, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are all things that I had no idea about when I started. I just worried about where I was going to put these Bloody Marys in, whether it was going to be originally we were using Clamato, which we had to X that off. So I would put all the bottles in the sink in hot water, take off the labels, and put my label on the outside. And so that ended that after we had to kind of figure out how to make the recipe a little bit more cost effective for us. So anyway, but it has been a lot of fun. It really has.
That's good.
Cute versus cost. That's what I took away from that.
Exactly.
But you know, it's easy to get caught up in. I've never sold a product, but you talk to people that do, and you want it to look good and unique relative to other stuff. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is what matters.
Amen.
Right. You know.
Yes.
And y'all touched on some really awesome points that I never thought about, is space in the grocery store, right? Using a bottle that's already designed for that type of space,
Exactly.
Yeah,
being able to think.
you've heard some people. I've heard stories where Walmart comes to them and says, "Hey, I need you to make that 3 inches shorter."
Right.
So now their buyer power has you running to try to recreate and add a cost. And that could put you out of business if you put all your eggs in that one Walmart basket.
Yes.
So that's
and it does depend on where the glass comes from, because some come from overseas. So you're even more, stuck when you have to depend on it coming from overseas, not knowing when it'll get here, how much, and the thing of how much you need.
Right.
And so now it's just simple. We just drive to Simsboro, or have a driver drive to Simsboro, pick it up, take it to Lake Providence. They bottle it, and then actually, my distributor also is local. It's PF Importers.
Yeah,
so they,
how's that been?
They actually, it was interesting because, as we know, Carl Malone owns it. Sorry, Carl, if you didn't want me to say that, but anyway, he called one day and said, called Ronnie and said, would Kay come and do a Bloody Mary tasting for us? And I said, sure, absolutely. I had no idea, really what he had in mind. But he also has vodka that pairs very well with my Bloody Mary mix. So we kind of, Trinity, yes, which is infused with the Trinity. So celery, onion, and bell pepper, in case anybody didn't know. But anyway, so I didn't have a distributor, and he was opening his, and so when we went for his grand opening, or ribbon cutting, I said, I really do need a distributor. And they said, we really would like to have you under our wing. And so that's how it kind of happened. So really and truly, every part of that is from North Louisiana, which I'm so proud of, and proud to give back to North Louisiana. South Louisiana is wonderful. I love it. But they've got so much going on in South Louisiana. We need to up the game up here. So that's why I love doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Comes full circle.
It does, I hope.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys have like you can go buy like a bottle of the Trinity vodka and it's paired with that in the stores, correct?
Well, I think it depends on which stores that you're in.
Okay.
Because mine may be with all the other Bloody Mary mixes in one store, and in another store it could be right next to his.
Gotcha.
So I can't really define whether it is or not in which stores.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
how many stores are you in?
The last I heard, I believe it was like 87.
Wow.
And more restaurants. I'm not exactly certain. I do know that we have picked up Brookshire's. We are in the process of getting into Rouse's in South Louisiana, so that's very exciting. So we're just going to keep going.
That's awesome.
I keep telling all my children, okay, I need to hurry this along because I'm not getting any younger. Because I started this when I was 60, so I started a little late in life.
It's never too late.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yes, I'm a testament to that. It keeps you young.
That's that's the beauty of, we've had conversations with the World and Vision guys. They were hustling at 14 and grinding it out, and we've talked to multiple people. They've had a career and pursued stuff after that.
Yeah,
so it's kind of
retire
cool
and then start. Yeah,
it's cool to cover the full.
It is.
I think the message to take away is you're never too young, and you're never too old.
That's exactly right.
The only right time is right now.
Exactly, that's right. As long as you're on the right side of the grass, you're good to go.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, do y'all have any future plans on growth or adding product lines, or just continue to push this and try to get it nationwide? Or
we're hopeful for nationwide. I know that PF Importers is actually moving now outside the state of Louisiana, so we're hoping that they just take Kaybabies right along with them when they go, because and I do ship. I have a website, so I do ship a lot to Texas, Arkansas, Hawaii, a lot of places on the East Coast. So we really do, and what you asked me a question about is we're just going to push that. No, I do a smoked rice and smoked cracker, which we've already had tested. We're ready to go. We're just having a hard time trying to find a manufacturer right now. So as soon as that happens, I'm going to be able to hopefully turn that over as well and let that go too. So hopefully that'll be soon. I don't know. It's all in God's time, so we'll see.
Evolving. That's that's how you grow.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I'm not a real big sleeper anyway. So I thought about the Bloody Marys, and at night I would think, okay, well, if you're going to do just Bloody Marys, you need something else in a little basket to give as gifts for people or whatever. Anyway, so that's when the smoked crackers came on board, and that's the smoked rice. And I do a smoked chocolate, but I don't love doing that one right now. It's a little difficult. So I'm going to sit back on that one for a while. Right. So anyway, but we are hopeful that the rest will be out soon. So
I love it.
Absolutely. So
That's
we're
awesome. Do you what is is the bulk of your sales through I guess PF distributing or direct to consumer? Okay,
so no, it's PF distributing it. Yes.
And what is the website if somebody just wanted to have it?
It's kaybabies.com.
Easy enough.
Easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's on the bottles. It's
and we'll throw that in the comments.
Yeah.
Too,
so we are Louisiana certified now, which is awesome.
Which it has a stamp.
Yes, it does. I'm so excited.
Get that on camera right there.
Signed, sealed, and you can have it delivered.
That's exactly right. And if you're anywhere close, I'll come deliver.
Hey, personal.
I've been known to do that.
Sign the bottle and everything.
Absolutely, yes. Well, that was shocking. I did that in Mandeville about a month ago, and it's shocking that somebody wants you to sign the bottle.
That's incredible.
This is just a simple little old lady trying to make a little living here, and then somebody actually wants your signature, and in a good way.
That's a sign you're moving in the right direction.
I certainly hope so. We're very hopeful for that.
Only signature I've been asked for is on a ticket. Sign right here.
Exactly.
Promissory note.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a great problem to have. I love it. So, and it's awesome meeting a lot of new people all the time. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Ronnie and I really enjoy traveling. He is as good at visiting with people as I am, probably better than I am. I'll say that. But we have a great time just traveling and doing our little song and dance.
That's awesome. I do, just before we kind of wrap up, I want to touch on that because we have a lot of conversations with, we talked to Tim at PF and he was talking about how pivotal his wife was in supporting him, and Coop at Kicks throwing out having the support of his wife meant everything. How pivotal, knowing how busy a guy like Ronnie is, how crucial has he been in terms of just a support mechanism in, your endeavors?
He's been the whole thing. I mean, because as I said before, I'm one that will sit back and sort of study everything.
Right.
I pontificate everything way too much. He's one that jumps out and says, let's go do it, let's go do it. So as a matter of fact, I put him on the bottle with me.
I love it.
Because he is so instrumental in what I do. I mean, when we got married, after about the first month or so, he said, so it's time to get busy with Kaybabies. And I flat out said, don't talk to me about my business. And so he said, I'll never touch that subject again. And so about a month later, I said, you know what? Let's talk about Kaybabies. Let's get this rocking and rolling. So anyway, he is my biggest supporter.
I love it.
He pushes me. He makes me do things that put me out of my comfort zone, like this.
Right. You've been a natural.
Yeah, good.
Well, thank you. I feel like I'm just talking to my best friends. Minus the old shirt, I'm sorry.
I had to wear that from Mr. Ryan.
At least you could have sported Louisiana Tech. I mean, really.
It's the same colors.
Oh, it is. You're right. You're right. But no, he's been awesome, and I love walking this journey with him. I wouldn't do it with anyone else.
And I'll verify that because it seemed for a while they probably thought I was stalking y'all because everywhere I was at, I was running to you and Mr. Ronnie. So like, down in Baton Rouge at the Northern Exposure, ran in there. Then I think it was a few weeks later we had a New Orleans deal at Carl and them with the Final Four at Charles Barkley and that event. And I ran into them the next day at Carl's event at where Trinity's made. So I was like, I promise I'm not stalking. But I was
kind of stalking.
No.
Mr. Ronnie was there.
Yeah. Yes, he was. Yes,
support.
He is. I mean, he will be the one. It's funny. I just had an event last weekend in St. Joe, Louisiana. And I was visiting and talking with people, so he's playing bartender and fixing all the Bloody Marys and handing them out and all that, because it's hard to visit with people and then try to do the same thing. And he is just getting it done right and left. But that's just y'all know him.
He's working on his retirement plan.
That's exactly right. We're actually thinking about that, but we'll still be doing. He'll be mayoring for quite some time.
Good.
Praise God. So we're like I said, he has been my rock. He still is my rock. And when anything goes wrong, he's the first person I call. Yeah. And when it goes right, he's the first person I call.
That's right. You got to have somebody like that.
Absolutely. I'm very blessed.
And I do want to say it's been shoot, almost a year ago, we had our little launch party before we kicked off
Yep.
kind of season 1, and we hit our own kind of hurdles and setbacks, and as you can see, we've stepped the game up
Yep.
on equipment a little bit. But thank you guys for coming and showing
Oh,
us love
absolutely.
and support. That was really, really cool. I was thrilled at how
Yeah.
many people and just the diversity that was in that room. It was really cool. So thank you guys for taking time out of your night. I know
well,
it's been a year ago, and
we
I just
enjoyed
wanted to
it.
let
It
you
doesn't
guys-
seem like it, does it? It doesn't
Yeah,
seem like it's been a
time
year.
flew by.
November will be a year, so I mean, we.
Oh,
get-
it is no okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been a fast couple of
Yeah.
months. That's for sure.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
But it does
absolutely.
speak on y'all's character because all I did was shoot a text.
Yeah.
Hey, if y'all in the area and
Oh, we love
y'all
doing
showed up,
that. I
so
mean,
we-
I
we
love
were-
meeting people and greeting, and as you know, Ronnie does too. So we really, and to support Ruston as much as we can, absolutely. Anytime, anytime. We're
Meant a lot.
happy. Well, thank you. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate that. But you guys mean a lot to us too. This is awesome.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we won't take up any more of your time. We appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. And,
You are most welcome.
and chatting a little bit about Kaybabies.
Yeah.
We'll
Thank you so
definitely push
much.
it on what we have going on. But cool. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.